Hello and welcome to your Power Yoga class for today. My name is Tauni with Yoga 413 and I just appreciate you being here. We're going to go ahead and get started in Mountain Pose or Tadasana, the top of our mat, bringing our feet hip distance apart, our arms at our sides, palms forward. Begin to connect to your breath. I invite you to take some of your longest, deepest breaths of the day, choosing to release anything that might be weighing on your mind today or anything that's just no longer serving you. Setting it aside, even if it's for this time, while you're on your mat. As you inhale, begin to reach your arms up over the head, gazing upward, bringing the palms down together as you exhale down through the heart center. Again, inhale and exhale. A few more breaths just like that as we begin to match breath and movement. Bringing your hands back to your heart and pausing, setting an intention for your practice today. And reaching the arms up. And as you exhale, hinge forward from your hips, soften those knees as we come into our first forward fold. Just relaxing, hanging heavy as we release any tension from the neck, the shoulders. Then begin to cradle the elbows in the opposite palms and gently just move side to side. Coming back to the center and once again finding stillness. Releasing the hands down and stepping back to our first downward facing dog. As you begin to alternate bending your knees, lengthening the spine, lengthening all down the back of the legs. And then finding downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide. Bringing our knees down onto the mat, coming into a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, begin to flow through cow and cat pose. As you inhale, open up the chest and lift the tailbone. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin towards chest. Again, matching breath and movement, inhaling and exhaling. As we begin to warm up all the muscles around the spine. And finding a flat back, stepping back to plank pose. Begin to lift your hips up for down dog and walk your hands back towards your feet into your forward fold. Deeply bend that right knee and take your left arm up to the sky for a standing twist. Working towards straightening that left leg as much as you can. Releasing and switching sides, deeply bending the left, the right arm comes up, right leg straightens. Coming back down, walking the hands back out to plank. The knees to the mat and then lowering all the way down with your elbows in. Lift that chest up for cobra pose. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Stepping the feet to the top of your mat. Take a breath here and lengthen your spine. Your hands can come to your shins for half lift. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, rise up to stand, reaching your arms up. Bringing the hands to the heart. Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskar A, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Lengthen the spine, half lift, and fold. Stepping back to plank pose. Shift forward to chaturanga. Your knees can come down. Flip the feet over for up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, as you inhale, step the feet to the top of the mat and lengthen that spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up strong, pressing through the feet, bringing the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Warming the body, lengthen the spine, and fold. Stepping back to plank pose. Exhale, shift forward, halfway down, chaturanga. Flip the feet over, press through those arms and the hands, downward facing dog. Take several breaths here. Step forward to the top of your mat, lengthening the spine, and fold. Inhale, rise up, bringing the hands to the heart center. Sit back into chair pose, flowing through Surya Namaskar B. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Sweeping the right leg up. Step the foot forward, knee over ankle, rise up for warrior lunge. Find your pose. Then as you exhale, take it back down to the mat, stepping back to chaturanga. Flowing through the half series, coming into down dog. Lifting the left leg up and back. Step the foot forward. Rise up for warrior lunge. Take a moment here, find your pose. Taking the hands down to the mat, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. And breathe. So we're going to do that one more time through. So looking forward, step or float, feet forward and fold. Dropping the hips, sitting back into chair pose. Mountain pose, hands at your sides. Last time through, sit back into chair, forward fold. Inhale, length. Exhale, step or float back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Right leg lifts. Step the foot forward. Rise up. Exhale, back down. Flowing through the half series. Or maybe you choose to go to down dog. Lifting the left leg. Stepping the foot forward. Rise up for warrior lunge. Exhale down, keeping the elbows in as you lower for chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Just one more breath. Checking in. Always knowing you can take a child's pose if you need to, or hit that pause button. If not, let's continue. As you inhale, lift that right leg up, point that toe, and then bend the knee, opening up the hip. But try to keep your shoulders square to the mat and release that left heel. Keeping your knee bent, come forward into high plank. Take that right knee over to the left elbow, just like a corkscrew, and twist. Lift all the way back up to one leg dog. Try it again. Exhale, come forward and squeeze and twist. Inhale, lift back up. One more time, twisting. This time, straighten that leg, lift it up behind you. Step that foot forward. Open up into warrior two. Take a moment here to be sure knee over ankle, shoulders over hips. Good. Begin to lean forward, taking that elbow above the knee for supported extended angle. We're going to add some extensions here today. Know if it's ever too much for you, just take that option of arms straight up. Begin to rise up, straightening your leg, reverse your triangle pose. Coming back to warrior two. We're going to start to shift our weight forward. We're going to go into balancing half moon, taking that right hand to the floor, lifting up, doing our best to stack our hips. Begin to soften that knee and step it all the way back to warrior two. Begin to straighten the legs, facing the long edge of your mat. Turn those toes to the corners. Exhale into sun pose. Let's move some energy around. Inhale, straightening. Exhale, bending. One more time. Inhaling. Exhale, hold your pose. Feeling strong in those legs. Straighten up, turn the toes in. Exhale to standing straddle. On that next breath, lift up into airplane pose. See if you can just bring your torso parallel to the floor. Lengthen back through the tailbone and forward through the crown of your head. Now use those belly muscles to take the left hand down and the right up, keeping the hips square for a standing twist. Coming back into airplane pose. Exhale, twist to the other side. Right arm down, left comes up. Come back to airplane. One more time each side, and maybe this time that left hand goes more over towards that right foot. Back to center. Exhale and twist. Back to center. And fold. Begin to walk to the back of your mat. So now that left is forward, step it back to plank pose. Half series flow through chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. So let's try that again on the other side. So lifting the left leg up, bend that knee, open up that hip, relax that right heel. Now take that inhale, and then as you exhale like a corkscrew, bring that knee over to that right elbow, lift it back up. Exhale, rotate and twist. Inhale, lift. One more time through. Then straightening that leg, lifting it up. Step that foot forward, open up into warrior two. Gazing forward. Now begin to lean forward, coming into supported extended angle. Lengthen that arm. Rise up, straightening the legs, reverse triangle. Good, returning back to warrior two. Begin to set up to reach forward for balancing half moon. That left hand, typically that thumb lines up with that pinky toe. You want to be sure you have a nice extension here in the spine. Now start to bend that knee. You're going to go right back to warrior two. Great job. Straighten it up. Turn those toes to the corners and sun flow. Bending and straight. Exhale, bend and straight. One more time and hold. Maybe finding more space in the hips this time. A little bit more strength in those legs. Stand it up, turn those toes in, standing straddle. Reach for the outsides of the feet. So notice your weight here. Sometimes it'll all shift back onto the heels. If that's happening, just guide that weight a little bit more forward. Now lift up into airplane pose, strong core. As you exhale, come back down to the mat. Walk back to the front of your mat. Step back. Let's flow through chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. So looking forward, step to the top of your mat. This time bend your knees and reach your arms up. We're going to come into chair pose. Keeping our back nice and strong. And if your shoulders ever get tired, you can always bring the hands to the heart center. If not, keep them extended up, bending those knees. Bring the hands behind you, interlace those hands, open up your chest. Begin to fold forward and straighten the legs. Forward fold with chest expansion. Let's drop the hips, release those hands right back into chair pose. This time, interlace those hands behind you, switching the grip so the opposite finger will be on top. Open up the chest. Begin to hinge forward and straighten those legs any amount for your fold. Bend those knees, reach those arms back up. One more chair pose. Returning to mountain pose, standing up, arms to the sides, Tadasana. So now we're going to balance in eagle pose. So go ahead and soften your knees. You're going to balance on your left foot first. Pick up that right foot as high as you can onto that thigh, wrap it around, hooking onto the calf. And if this is too intense, you know you can always just use that kickstand there on the floor. And then take that right arm underneath the left, palms or back of the hands together. Eagle pose. One more breath. And then release. Shake that out. Let's try it on the other side. Softening the knees. Picking up that left leg all the way around, up high onto that thigh, hooking it. Left arm underneath right. And the higher you lift the elbows, the more intense. You're probably going to feel that stretch the upper back, the back of the shoulders. Let's come up and shake that out. Go ahead and step to the top of your mat. We're going to flow through that sun salutation. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthening the spine. And fold. Stepping back to plank. Shifting forward, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. So we're going to come forward into that plank pose. We're going to hold plank. Now I want you to shift all your weight to your right side, moving into side plank, stacking the feet, taking the left arm up. If you needed support, that bottom knee comes to the mat. Let's roll to the other side, moving into plank, rolling to the left side, stacking the feet, open up to side plank. Let's return back to plank pose, taking the feet hip distance apart. Press back into down dog, Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, down dog. So do that again with the option is as you come forward to plank, either stop in plank or lower down for chaturanga and then push right back up to down dog. Let's do that 2 more times, picking the option that works best for you. Knowing you could always drop the knees to the mat. One last time. Beautiful job. Let's take the knees to the mat. Find a child's pose. Come up. You're going to swing the feet around and have a seat on the mat. From here, I want you to find boat pose. So find your sits bones, good posture, shoulders back. You can continue to hold on to the legs or extend. Now grab onto those legs, carefully roll it down onto the mat. Hug the knees into the chest, relax your shoulders down. So remember eagle pose. We're going to do that from the floor. So cross right leg over left, hooking if you can. And then right underneath with the arms. We're going to do some crunches from here. So take an inhale, and then as you exhale, lift the shoulders, draw the knee to the elbow, and release. Exhale, lift. Inhale, come down. At your own pace. You're doing a great job. We have 2 more. Just continue breathing and moving. Now untwist everything. Let's take our arms to our sides, feet down, pressing up into a bridge pose. Walking those shoulders together, interlacing the hands or maybe grabbing the wrist. Coming out of the pose, let's do that on the other side. So we cross left over right, hooking on around the calf, left underneath right, interlace those arms. When you're ready, take that breath, and as you exhale, you lift, crunch everything together, and come down. Let's do 2 more. Releasing and twisting. 1 more bridge pose. Press those hips up. Walk those shoulders together. Let's drop the hips. Hug the knees into the chest. Now start to rock forward and back. You're going to gain some momentum. Come up and have a seat. Take the soles of the feet together. Drop those knees wide. Moving forward into bound angle or butterfly pose. Relaxing into the hips. Relaxing the inner thighs. Let's lift the knees up. Extend the legs out straight, toes up, reaching up, and then exhale, forward fold. Start to roll it down. 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and controlled. Let's pull the right knee into the chest. Use your upper body to pull that knee down as you continue to extend through the left leg. And dropping the knee across the body, shoulders on the mat. Turn your gaze down that right arm. Coming onto your back, extend the leg. Left knee pulls in. Gently guide it down towards the chest. into your twist, dropping the knee across the body, turning your gaze down the left arm. Coming back onto our back, hugging the knees into the chest. Extending the leg for our final resting pose of shavasana. Taking the palms up, eyes closed. Begin to release and let go of all the muscles in the body, softening. Find stillness, both in the body, but also the mind. I'll be back with you in just a moment. I read a quote earlier today that said there is always something positive to find in each day. Just some days you have to look a little bit harder. So I encourage you today to find something positive, to find something thankful that you're thankful for today. Begin to add the small movements into your body. And when you feel ready, soften those knees and roll over onto that right side, into that fetal position. Taking a moment here to just pause, to set your intention for the rest of your day or evening. And then help yourself up to have a seat on your mat. You did amazing, and I greatly appreciate you joining me for class today. Let's bring our hands to our heart center, and from my heart to yours, namaste. Have a blessed day, and if you love this class, be sure and hit that like button and drop me a comment below. Hope to see you again soon.